15 occasions when individuals attempted to assassinate the British royal family. Highlight that royal life is not merely about glamour, it can be perilous. The royal family faces constant threats from political extremists and obsessive admirers, necessitating a substantial security presence due to these assassination attempts. In 1979, one such attempt was tragically successful when the IRA killed Lord Mountbatten. Without further delay, here are the 15 instances in which people have sought to harm members of the British royal family throughout history. 1. Islamic State threatened to kill Prince George. In 2017, members of the Islamic extremist group ISIS issued threats against Prince George while he was attending school. They shared a photograph of the 4-year-old prince on the encrypted messaging platform Telegram, which included the address of his school, an image of a jihadist fighter, and the message that even the royal family would not be safe. Fortunately, Prince George was unharmed by ISIS. In 2018, Husnan Rashid was sentenced to life in prison, with a minimum of 25 years without the possibility of parole. 2. Lord Mountbatten was killed by the IRA. Lord Mountbatten's assassination was the only murder attempt that resulted in a fatality. In 1979, a bomb was detonated on his fishing boat, Shadow V. The explosion instantly killed Lord Mountbatten, along with his teenage grandson Nicholas Knatchbull and 15-year-old crew member Paul Maxwell. The Irish Republican Army, IRA, claimed responsibility for the attack, which was part of their campaign to end British influence in Northern Ireland. 3. Assassination plan at the VIII Day celebrations. In August 2015, members of the Islamic State from Syria planned an assassination attempt ahead of the Victory Day celebrations in London. The Mail on Sunday received intelligence indicating that ISIS was plotting to detonate a bomb in central London during the festivities marking the 70th anniversary of victory over Japan. A few weeks later, one of the main conspirators, Rayad Khan, was killed by an RAF drone strike in Raqqa, Syria. 4. The Lithgow Plots. The Lithgow Plot was an assassination attempt on Queen Elizabeth II that occurred on the 29th of April, 1970 in Lithgow, New South Wales, during her royal tour of Australia. At the time, the Queen and her husband, Prince Philip, were travelling by train from Sydney to Orange. The would-be assassins had placed a large wooden log on the tracks the night before the Queen's passage through Orange, intending to derail the train and cause it to crash into the embankment. Fortunately, the plot failed as the train was travelling unusually slowly when it hit the obstruction, sliding for approximately 700 metres before coming to a complete stop. The royal couple remained unaware of the assassination attempt. In fact, details of the Lithgow plot were not made public until January 2009, nearly 30 years later. 5. Failed knife attack against Queen Elizabeth II. In 2014, ISIS terrorists plotted to stab Queen Elizabeth II during the 96th anniversary celebrations of World War I. The Metropolitan Police intercepted this murder plot and conducted a raid on their base in West London. Thankfully, the terrorists never managed to get close to Queen Elizabeth II. 6. Attempted kidnapping of Princess Anne. In 1974, a man attempted to kidnap Princess Anne while she was driving back to Buckingham Palace after a charity event. He approached her in a white Ford Escort, took control of the vehicle, and forced the chauffeur to stop. Armed with 2 loaded handguns, he shouted at Princess Anne to get out of the car, threatening, "Open or I'll shoot." To this, Princess Anne calmly replied, "Bloody likely." Before he could fire, police arrived and swiftly arrested him. In his car, authorities discovered 2 pairs of handcuffs, Valium tranquilizers, and a ransom letter addressed to the Queen. Ian Ball was subsequently sentenced to life in a psychiatric institution at Broadmoor Hospital. 7. Michael Fagan. In 1982, Michael Fagan broke into Queen Elizabeth II's bedroom at Buckingham Palace. Fagan sat on the Queen's 4-poster bed while she was asleep, startling her awake. According to Fagan, she asked, "Is that you, Philip?" To which he replied, "No, it's me, Michael." Understandably, Queen Elizabeth II was terrified, fearing he intended to harm her. However, Fagan did not actually plan to kill the Queen. He had brought a piece of broken glass from an ashtray into her room with the intention of slitting his own wrist in front of her. Following the break-in, Fagan was admitted to a psychiatric institution. 8. Lone gunman attempted to kill Edward VII. In 1936, lone gunman George McMahon attempted to assassinate Edward VIII. He approached the king while riding through Hyde Park during the Trooping the Colour ceremony. Members of the public and the Metropolitan Police quickly subdued McMahon before he could fire his rifle. McMahon claimed that he had been hired by the Italian embassy in London to kill the king, although this has never been verified. He was sentenced to 12 months in prison for his actions. 9. Baby-faced man plotted to kill Queen Victoria. Edward Oxford, known as the Babyface Man, was the first of 7 individuals to attempt to assassinate Queen Victoria. As Queen Victoria and Prince Albert were leaving Buckingham Palace in an open carriage, Prince Albert noticed a small, unfriendly-looking man holding something towards them. This was Edward Oxford, who ran towards the couple and fired a shotgun. Fortunately, he missed, and the crowd quickly subdued him. Queen Victoria and Prince Albert continued their carriage ride through Hyde Park as if nothing had happened. 10. Man attempted to kill Queen Victoria for Ireland. Arthur O'Connor was another individual who attempted to murder Queen Victoria. He scaled the gates of Buckingham Palace while the Queen was preparing for a carriage ride. O'Connor ran towards her, pointing a gun at her face, but the Queen's personal servant intervened before he could get close enough to shoot. O'Connor claimed that he never intended to kill Queen Victoria, rather, he wanted to threaten her. He was an Irish revolutionary seeking to compel the Queen to release Irish political prisoners. As punishment for his assassination attempt, Arthur O'Connor was sent to a penal colony in Australia. 11. Suspicious packages sent to Buckingham Palace. Over a span of 15 years, Robert James Morris sent hundreds of bizarre and disturbing packages to Buckingham Palace. These letters and parcels contained sexual photographs, suspicious substances, and love letters. Queen Elizabeth II never actually received Morris's packages. He passed away at the age of 69 from natural causes, and his decomposed skull and bones were discovered on a yellow cushion next to vodka bottles on a secluded island in St. James's Park. This small island was closed to the public and could only be accessed by boat on the lake. Morris's remains were left on the isolated island for 3 years, chosen for its proximity to Buckingham Palace. 12. Queen Elizabeth II's almost killed her. A guardsman once mistook Queen Elizabeth II for an intruder. A retired guard recounted to the Times that he spotted a shadowy figure moving along the palace grounds. He shouted, "Bloody hell, Your Majesty, I nearly shot you." The Queen responded, "That's quite all right. Next time I'll ring through beforehand so you won't have to shoot me." 13. John Francis tried to shoot Queen Victoria twice. On May 29, 1842, John Francis attempted to shoot Queen Victoria as she returned from Sunday service at St. James's Palace. Fortunately for the Queen, the rifle misfired. Francis quickly fled into Green Park. The following day, he made another attempt to murder the Queen and Prince Albert while they were returning from Hampstead, but once again, he failed in his assassination attempt. This was part of Queen Victoria's strategy, as she believed that by traveling through London, the authorities could flush out the assassin. Her plan succeeded, and John Francis was arrested. He was imprisoned at Newgate on charges of high treason and sentenced to be hanged, drawn, and quartered. 14. Attempted murder of Prince Charles in Australia. In 1994, David Kang fired 2 blank shots at King Charles III in protest against the treatment of Cambodian asylum seekers in Australian detention camps. Fortunately, King Charles III was unharmed during the incident. Kang was found guilty of making threats of unlawful violence and was sentenced to 500 hours of community service. Today, he maintains that the event was purely political and that he had no intention of causing harm to anyone. 15. Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes famously attempted to blow up Westminster on November 5, 1605. Guy Fawkes was part of a group of provincial English Catholics who aimed to destroy Parliament, assassinate King James I, and restore a Catholic monarch to the throne. Fawkes's plan failed dramatically when an anonymous letter was sent to Parliament warning of the bomb. The letter stated, "My lord, out of love for some of your friends, I want to ensure your safety. Therefore, I advise you not to attend the sitting of Parliament because God and men have agreed to punish the wickedness of this time." Historians believe that Francis Tresham, who was strongly opposed to killing both Protestants and Catholics, was behind the warning. The failed Gunpowder Plot is still commemorated today. People around the world celebrate with fireworks and bonfires, symbolizing resistance, autonomy, collective power, and community. Do you know of any other instances where someone attempted to kill a member of the British royal family? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed it. See you next time.